friends, it's Evelyn here as usual. A huge welcome back to the channel to each and every single one of you, and a huge thank you for your continued love and support for this, my very own little creative corner of the internet here on YouTube. Cannot believe it, my friends, that it is now March, and with spring just around the corner, my mind is turning to one thing in particular: spring cleaning. And with that in mind, my friends, this week I'm going to take you along with me to do something that I definitely do not do enough of. And it's something that all of us sewists and owners of sewing machines probably, actually definitely need to do more. And that is maintaining our sewing machines. Now, as the lucky and proud owner of 4 different machines myself, I definitely do not do this enough. So I'm trying to take a leaf out of a good book and try to be better at little things like this, because it's very, very important, because I use my sewing machines so much that I really need to take care of them. Now, I have 3 sewing machines that I'm going to be maintaining this week, but I also have this Norma Jean, my beloved vintage Singer 99K. I'm not going to be maintaining or servicing her this week because I still need to restore her, and that is something that I do definitely want to get to this year here on the channel, my friends, so stay tuned for that. But without further ado, let's get to servicing and maintaining my other 3 very loved machines, and very used as well, so they definitely need some TLC. Very bad, Evelyn, very bad indeed. Grab yourself a couple, my friends, and while you're at it, grab your sewing machine manuals if you need to do a little bit of maintenance on yours too. Let's do it together. Oh, sun's come out as well, must be a good sign. Let's go. Okay friends, so here is one of the machines that I'm going to service and maintain and give a little bit of a clean up today. And if you've been with me here on the channel for a while, you will no doubt have seen this lovely little machine. Just move my sleeve press here. Incidentally, actually, this sleeve press and tailor's hat, and there's a tutorial for making them here on the channel. I'll pop a card above. So if you've seen this machine on the channel, my friends, she is my little workhorse, or she was up until very recently when I started using my new Netchi NM2000, which was a Christmas present from my husband. Not Christmas just gone, but the Christmas before. But with everything that had happened in 2023, she was still in her box. There is actually a video of me unboxing her here on the channel as well, so I'll pop a link to that above. But this is my little brother RL417, and I tell you what, my friends, if you're looking to get into sewing and you're learning to sew now, I would highly recommend getting one of these. I do not need any other stitches, any other bobbins or bits and pieces or anything to do some sewing. This little machine, which cost me under £100, is perfect. Definitely get yourself one of these if you're looking to get yourself a sewing machine. So I'll be giving that a clean today. The other thing I'll be giving a clean is this, my very, very first overlocker. Now, you might be able to see she's not actually threaded currently, and that's because I'm still not 100% confident at using her. But today I'm going to give her a clean and get her threaded up on all 4 threads, because I'm determined this year to actually break my scaredness of overlockers. It might happen, it might not. We will keep a positive mindset, my friends. So actually, these 2 machines don't have names yet, and neither does my Netchi. The vintage 99K that I have, Norma Jean, has a name. These don't. Any suggestions, my friends? Let me know. The names actually started with our lovely Betty here, and she was the first of my sewing accessories and things that I named after the lovely Betty Page, no less. And then Norma Jean, obviously, after the wonderful Marilyn Monroe. So those are 2 of the machines that I'm going to be giving a little bit of a clean up today, and the third one is being used quite a lot, so it is currently sat on my kitchen table. Let's go check that one out, my friends. And this is the last machine that I'm going to be giving a little clean and spruce up today, my friends. This is the newest machine in my little collection. It is a Netchi NM2000 and it's the first digital machine that I've ever owned, and it's become my daily workhorse, as you can see, because it's sat on my kitchen table currently. I really love this machine and I'm very, very grateful and lucky to say that it was a gift from my husband. So very, very lucky lady. And you can see as well my Valentine's roses that are still doing really, really well. Also a gift from the lovely husband. Very, very lucky. So without further ado, my friends, I'm going to get to some cleaning. So firstly, friends, as should be the first step with any maintenance that you're doing on anything electrical or mechanical, I have grabbed my owner's operation manuals because each of these has a little section on maintenance. At the same time, I've also grabbed any screwdrivers or tools that came with the machines, so there they are. And I've also grabbed an assortment of sewing machine needles because that's a really big part of sewing machine maintenance, my friends. Make sure that you're changing your needles regularly. I change my needles every other project, and I also make sure that I'm using the correct needle for my fabric. And there's lots of different types of needles. We've got sharps for the more delicate fabrics like silks and chiffons, and then we've got jersey and stretch needles for stretch fabrics, pretty self-explanatory there, my friends, and universal needles for other fabrics like cottons and cotton poly blends, and then double needles and wonderful things like that. So I've got some new needles there for my overlocker, but I'm not needing to change those because I haven't used my overlocker that much yet, so I don't need those at this precise minute. But I've also got some universal needles, some stretch needles, and some sharps here too. So at the moment I'm going to be using these because the next project I've got for sewing coming up on the channel, my friends, is using cotton. So these organic universal needles will be perfect. So without further ado, I'm going to get a look inside these instruction manuals, and I think I'm going to start with the Netchi. So with my sewing machine manuals in hand and a cuppa, naturally, we ventured into the garden and to the first splash of warm light that the sun has blessed us with. I truly cannot wait for spring to spring. Luckily for me, my Lunar babe is as much of a sun worshipper as I am. I know I've already alluded to this, friends, but don't attempt any type of cleaning or maintenance without consulting the specific manuals for your machines. And if you've come to misplace your manual, do not despair. Get onto Google because so many manuals are available online now, so there's just no excuse. Manuals read and cuppa shared with Luna, of course. It's time to get to that cleaning. Okay friends, so I'm starting with my Netchi NM2000. Got my instruction manual here just in case by my side. I've also got some scissors which I'm going to use to cut my thread so that I can unthread this machine before I take a look at it. And I'm trying to get better at doing that by doing how you should unthread a machine, by snipping the cotton here and pulling the excess out of the needle rather than grabbing the spool and pulling it upwards. It's very lazy, don't do it. So I've got some scissors to enable me to do that. I've also got my lint brush here, and I've got two microfiber cloths. I've got one that I am going to allow to get damp and use some cleaner, just a simple antibacterial surface cleaner, and then I've got one that I'm going to keep dry, so just like that, so I remember which is which. So I'm going to begin by turning my machine off and unplugging it. There. So first thing I'm going to do is take off the freon. All my accessories are in there. and then I'm going to unthread the machine. Like so. Pop in my thread to one side. Let's open the bobbin right here. Okay. So I did actually clean this machine not so long ago. I'm getting quite good at actually maintaining these machines, which is good because I was terrible, friends, absolutely terrible. So bob in there. So this machine can actually be oiled, and it does come with a little oil bottle of its own. However, it doesn't actually state in the manual where you need to oil it. So my top tip here, my friends, the main places that I tend to oil a machine is where your bobbin, or previously known as your shuttle, moves. So just inside this piece here where your bobbin moves, and then where your presser foot joins, you've got this mechanism here which holds the presser foot on there, so a little touch there, and then where the machine holds the needle. And that's the main three places I tend to put just a little drop, even half a drop if you can manage it, onto those mechanisms. The main thing I'm going to do today, because I've done that not so long ago, is get rid of all that lint. Here goes. I should be doing this every other project, but I don't. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to change the needle, because I've currently got a stretch needle installed, and the next project I'm doing is working with suiting fabric, so I need a more universal needle to be able to have the best results on that. So I'm going to grab my little trusty tool here. I don't know if you can see that, friends, but it's got the larger side here, which is used for the screws, where if you're maintaining maybe on a 6-monthly basis perhaps, you can undo this whole plate here, take it up and really give it a good clean. But I'm not seeing any evidence of sort of any real build up, so I'm not going to worry about that today. And then you've got the other side, which helps you to undo your needle. As with anything, my friends, take care when you're dealing with sharp objects and such like. So there's my stretch needle, and I'm going to replace it with a universal needle. Aha, look. It's actually quite a small amount. So I'm quite happy with that. And you can see as well that there's a little bit of the remnant of the oil there as well. Much better. And I'm going to grab my microfiber cloth and some of my multi-surface cleaner and just give my machine a bit of a wipe. Always be sure that your machine is turned off and unplugged at the mains before you do anything like this, my friends, just in case. I absolutely love this machine. It's the first ever digital machine that I ever owned as well, so it's very, very precious to me, especially since it was a gift from my wonderful husband. And then I'm just going to give it one final dust with my dry cloth. So, there we go. That's that machine nicely cleaned. And as I said, my friends, if I hadn't oiled her and cleaned her before, that would have taken me significantly longer, making sure that all the lint was out, and I also would have oiled those places. I would have oiled my bobbin, where my presser foot joins here and where my needle joins here, and then perfect, sorted. So just going to get her re-threaded up later when I need to thread her in a light blue. Getting a little bit of a sneaky peek there on what's happening next here on the channel. So there she is, my Netchi NM2000, after I've given her a bit of a spruce up. So next up for a little spruce up, my friends, is my baby, my brother RL417. Now she has actually been stored away on her shelf for quite a few months now while I've been getting to grips with my Netchi, my first ever digital machine. But I've got so much love for this machine. It was the first machine I ever bought myself, and she was under £100, which is just absolutely crazy. And I never had to reach for any other machine or any other gadgets. She just had everything that I needed, and she is an absolutely phenomenal little machine. So if you're learning to sew and thinking about investing in your own machine, definitely check the entry-level Brother models out, because they are sensational little machines. So she was actually maintained and cleaned right before she went on her shelf, and I tend to do that before I pack any of my machines away and get one of the others out. I tend to give them a really good spruce up. So actually I did take off her needle plate and clean underneath her before she went away. She is looking though a little bit dirty and dusty, so I'm going to give her a little bit of a clean up with my microfiber cloths and my cleaner. Once again, the needle plate comes off just using one of these type of tools, and the two screws come off here. And once again, the bobbin case can all come out and you can clean it all underneath there. Taking off my little bobbin topper there, there's actually not that much lint in here because I did, as I said, I did clean her out before. As you can see, there's nothing really on there, especially because she's had her case on. So another top tip, always pop your case on even when you're not using your machine, even when there's not a bobbin in there, because that will stop dust getting in there. So make sure that's always on there, my friends. She's not actually threaded up at the moment either, so there's nothing to need to do there. The other thing about sewing machines like this one, my friends, is that when you come to the maintenance section in the manual, they often say to you that the machine is oiled with the amount of oil it will need for its lifetime. There's quite a lot of debate, my friends, as to whether that actually is the case, or whether the manufacturers just simply want you to go and spend more money by getting the machine serviced at a retailer, things like that. So there is quite a lot of debate out there about it, but considering that this machine is over a decade old, it's well out of any warranties or guarantees, my friend. I do maintain this machine myself, and like I was talking with the Netchi earlier, I just oil very, very slightly in three main places: inside where the bobbin is moving, where the needle is held, and where the foot is held. Just those 3 points, and literally not even a drop of oil, about half a drop if you can at all manage that, my friends. So I'm going to give this little baby a little bit of a clean up now. I absolutely love her. She's yes, and she doesn't actually have a name, so any ideas or suggestions, my friends, pop them in the comments below. But let's give her a little bit of a clean up, shall we? Okay, my friends, so last today for a little bit of sprucing up and cleaning, by certainly no means least, is my Singer overlocker. Now, this model is the 14SH754. This is the model with a differential feed, and she was quite a steal. She cost me £250 in a Black Friday sale. Very, very lucky to have her, but she's currently, as you can see, not threaded, with thread loops still sort of hanging around here. And the reason is we fell out. Yes, I just could not get the tension right, so she ended up having a quick dust and getting put back on the shelf. But this year, my friends, I have promised myself that I'm going to get to grips with using an overlocker and not be so terrified of them. Yes, I might have been sewing for very nearly 4 decades, but overlockers still absolutely terrify me. Honesty time, my friends. So I'm going to thread her up with a 3-thread overlock using this gorgeous overlock thread here. It's a gorgeous powder blue colour, and I tell you what, my friends, if I was to have a signature colour, it would definitely be this powder blue or a red like this pin-up red that I'm wearing on my nails. So definitely, it's quite ironic, I think, that the caps are that kind of red as well. So I'm going to thread it up with a 3-thread overlock using these yarns here. Now, this machine does need to be oiled, although I don't need to do that today because she hasn't been used enough to warrant it. But when she does get oiled, my friends, the manual this time actually tells us where to oil, and it's telling me that we need to lubricate the machine where it moves here, the main movement of the overlocker, just at these 2 points here. So I'm going to give this a bit of a clean up. You can see quite a lot of thread and everything. Overlockers do need cleaning a lot more than regular machines, my friends, especially if you're using the cutter. And you can see I don't actually have my cutter down currently, but when you are using the overlocker and you're using the knife all the time, you definitely need to clean it really every project, because you'll get, like here, you can see, you'll get all the pieces of your cut fabric getting all caught down here. So definitely make sure that if you have an overlocker and you're using it, make sure to be cleaning it consistently, my friends. So I'm going to give mine a bit of a clean up and spruce up. Then I'm going to use this really handy tool here, and this came with the machine. It's these little tweezers here that come in really handy when we're going to thread through all these gubbins here. So wish me luck, my friends. I'm going to clean and then hopefully successfully thread this overlocker. Wish me luck. Threading my overlocker took me much longer than usual this time, my friends, but as with anything, I tried to be patient with myself, especially when I passed those threads the wrong way quite a few times. Just keep swimming. A note to friends, when talking about oiling your machines, be sure to just use specialist sewing machine oil and don't be tempted to use anything else. You could void any warranties, and worse, you could cause irreparable damage to your babies, and we can't have that. As with any machine, overlockers too need to have their needles replaced periodically, but I've definitely not used this machine enough to warrant that yet. Hopefully, friends, that will change soon. So my wonderful friends, there we go. All three of my current machines have had a lovely spring clean spruce up. So do you need to do the same, my friends? Remember, change those needles every other project or whenever you change fabric type. Give your machines a dust and a clean every so often so that they remain lint and fabric free and so that they hopefully last even longer. Fingers crossed, my friends, I have threaded this little beast up correctly and I'm going to get to be able to use her very soon here on the channel. But until next week, my friends, get to giving your own sewing machines a little bit of a spruce. Grab yourself a cuppa and I'll see you next week. Bye, friends. Are you going to give me any trouble? Or am I actually going to be able to use you? Crazy things have happened. Let's hope. You're looking really nice and clean anyway. Fingers crossed.